7 years in the making, for 9 minutes of mesmerizing stop-motion animation. This is Playing God, a dream of a small independent animation studio that turned the impossible into reality.
This story was born from the strong need to stage the myth of creation not only as an artistic act, but as a metaphor of human fragility through the heart of the stop-motion animation, with the ambitious challenge of combining 3 different kinds of techniques in the same film: puppet animation, clay animation, and pixelation. It began with the idea of a bond between a small Frankenstein-like sculpted in clay by a demiurge in a messy workshop stuck in a never-ending built-to-fall loop. Over the years, however, the story gained a deeper awareness. It wasn't just about the bond between a father and a son, the sculptor and the sculpture, but more about the connection between the sculpture and the other figures like him, all in a search of sense of belonging.
From the very beginning, I felt like this project was something deeply personal, and I wanted to be the only animator involved in the process, because at some point it was like I felt really connected with those guys, and it was like I was the only person who could truly give them life. Playing God is made up of 12,000 frames with a minimal post-production. Everything you see was animated directly in camera. The animation alone took almost 2 years of non-stop work to complete. We chose the clay to give to the film a special and unique effect. We wanted it to be like raw material on the screen, almost like a living flesh. Clay offers complete expressive freedom, but it also makes the animation process incredibly slow. Okay, so the workflow was: find the right micro movement, sculpt the micro expression, and clean the clay surface before capturing the frame. Sometimes all of this, it took me almost 40-50 minutes of work just to sculpt a single frame. And the challenge became even more fascinating with the pixelation, because the sculpture character is a human, so we needed a human being.
And here I am, the director and human prop of the film. If someone asked me, what was your biggest challenge in this project? I would say staying still. Most of the process involved placing my forearms into the set, fully rigged and perfectly motionless, while I reanimated me frame by frame. Each animation session could last up to 7 hours a day, always in direct contact with the clay puppet. And those shooting sessions were like a true performance of mind-body control, very intense, very hard to manage. And that was just for the arms. For the face, we create a silicone prosthetic used in the face reveal scene of the sculptor. This is a quite an unusual choice for an animated film, but we wanted to see a real physical and emotional connection, not only between the sculptor and this creature, but also with the audience itself.
Modeling was at the heart of this project. You could almost say that we were more sculptors than puppet makers. Every animation, every prop, every puppet started from there, because the real main character of this film are the sculptors themselves. 80 clay stop-motion puppets, to be exact. Each of them has a unique personal story, as you can see in their design and in every deformation. We wanted the audience to feel this world as buzzing with life and the hidden stories that came far before us. And here is our protagonist, 815. Standing 58 centimeters tall, he has a specially designed strong ball and socket armature inside, made to support micro movements while resisting the weight of his full clay body.
The story unfolds in real time as one continuous narrative arch, maintaining unity of space and time with a dynamic direction and editing. And with the money being tight, we had to use even more creativity to develop several custom tools to achieve a specific kind of shots, such as handheld camera effects, combining it with lens animation to create expressive focus and defocus transitions. For the most complex camera movement in the film, we built an entirely analog slider from scratch. A millimeter-calibrated rail system equipped with gear that allow us to animate the camera's movement frame by frame with great precision.
Beyond the sliding movements, I also animated the camera lens itself, shifting from 24mm wide-angle shots to a 70mm close-up at the end. And after several weeks of preparation and acting tests, I finally started animating that shot, and it took me, if I remember well, almost 90 days to complete it. I began in summer, end of August 2023, and while seasons were passing by from summer to autumn and from autumn to winter, the longest 1 minute shot was brought to life with more than 70 animated puppets simultaneously on set. You probably think that all of this sounds a little bit insane, right? Well, what I'm most proud of is that through this production, there were no boundaries, no compromises. We took all the time we needed to create something truly unique, something that spoke our language and reflected our personal vision of art. My biggest hope is that the film will not evoke just strong emotions, but also sparks a deep reflection on who we are, how we relate to each other, and like our clay characters, how we face the pressures and illusions imposed by our society we live in.
Ma lo senti se ti tiri troppo? Cioè, se fai così poi magari sì, può ridere pure.
The making of Playing God was like a fever dream journey, and everything we overcome made us believe in ourselves no matter how hard and insidious the path ahead of us may be. This journey made us understand to never underestimate the power of your dreams. And if you had just the right amount of creative obsession and unshakable love for cinema, you find yourself the core ingredients of our work. This is Playing God.
Thank you for watching.